and breakfast of Through Hiking Champions. I am getting the occasional snowflake off and on. Keep thinking how much Jen would be enjoying the snow. Little Miss Southern California native tends to be really, really happy around it. So it is December 1st today, which, according to every Happy Path plan, I was supposed to already be back in Southern California by now. But hey, what you gonna do? That injury set me back about 3 weeks. As of right now, I am a little over 200 miles from the border. So I'm hoping in the next 10, 12 days, depending, there are things like going into Silver. The post office hours are probably going to delay me a little bit. For some folks I know who have done the trail down in New Mexico, south of Silver City should be pretty cruisy, especially compared with what I've been doing. And from here on out, there isn't much as far as, oh, you can shortcut the red line going this way, unless you just want to walk down the highway, which people do to save time. But I'm still intending to do every mile. I'm still down in the 7,000 foot range, I think, which made for another warmer night. I still have to take freeze precautions, keep the batteries, the filter, and the toilet paper wipes inside my sleeping bag, but I wasn't sitting there shivering, wondering if I was going to be awake all night. Basically, it's a warm night if it's not down in the low 20s. I'm currently about 22 miles from the New Mexico 15, which goes into Silver City, or I walk into Silver City in 42 miles. There is a very, very kind trail angel in Silver City who reached out, has been in contact with both me and Jen. And I'm once again having to nicely say thank you so much, but I really, really don't want to slack pack XYZ section. It feels cheap and cheating to me. But I may stay with them Sunday night if things go to plan. I am back to a heavy water carry. I filled up 6 liters last night, all my hard side capacity. There's a monastery off trail. If I can push a little further, it looks like there's some water sources in creeks and whatnot. And quite frankly, ever since leaving Winston, there has been more water than I expected. So north of Winston, less water than expected. It would have been easier in spring based on comments and things. And then south, more water, worse trail. I came back to this trail last day of August after, having done the Mississippi and the spring hike. And that feels like an eternity ago. Ironically, I'm only at about 1,000 miles, so I've done about the same as I did with the Grand Enchantment plus the Arizona Trail bit. It was really that 3-week enforced break when I got hurt that killed me here. This is now actively screwing up commitments I had back in Southern California, but at this point I put so much into it, it really doesn't make sense to, start cutting corners at this point. One way or another, it'll be done in a couple of weeks, and at that point, for, all of time, I just have how I did it to look back on. And personally, for me, if I start slack packing, if I start shortcutting, that's not gonna be the memory I want to have. I passed up some slightly better options last night, but I wanted to get closer to the gate, and this worked. This was one of the more pleasant mornings I've had, temperature and weather-wise, in quite a while. So my discipline as far as getting out and hiking right at 8, completely out the window. I went ahead and splurged and had a third cup of coffee. It's funny. I've been forced out of the tent pretty early recently just because it's cold and I need to get moving and all that. Not to mention weather coming in and out. This was really mild as they have gone lately. My fly was even almost dry enough that I could have put it in dry storage instead of damp storage. Almost. This is basically a low point. So today is going to be up and over another mountain range. I think the following day is going to be a little cruisier based on far out comments. The closer you get to Silver City, it looks like some people started out doing the red line and then jumped to the other alt. So there are a couple of more comments. Per far out, there are 2 southern monuments in addition, or finishes in addition to 2 northern ones. More than that if you dig into it a little bit. The I don't know what it would be, light blue line goes off further to the east and finishes in a little bit more of a civilized spot. The boot heel where Crazy Cooks exists is a little harder to get to. It's funny, on the northern end there's 2 monuments, and I wanted to do Waterton, couldn't do Waterton because border crossings, yada yada. So I was perfectly happy with the Chiefs monument up there at the Peace Park. However, down here I am dead set on wanting to do the boot heel and finish at Crazy Cooks, so go figure. Within the next week I am going to have to get kind of serious as far as how I'm going to get from Crazy Cooks, assuming I actually make it, and get back to Canyon City where my parents and my Jeep are. There is a trail angel sort of person that stocks the water caches down there because I think it's pretty dry, and he also will shuttle you out. It's not cheap, but remote bouncy roads are kind of like that. I am on the later side here. Generally, you know, people, the southbounders are all in a rush to finish as quick as they can. Hook, crook, shortcut, road rock, etc. But he thought he would still be around. I am a little bit concerned about the forecast today. Anytime it says freezing rain, that tends to be kind of worrying. If it does come down as rain, but it's cold, thermal issues just get amped way up. And if you believe the first aid documentation, most hypothermia cases actually happen in 50s and 60s. And here, I mean, it's 40s most of the day. And also you count wind chill, since the wind has been pretty unrelenting out here. And temperature drops really, really quick. See me forming ice on my beard yesterday. It's not enough where I'm gonna go run into town or anything, but there is always the chance that I will have to stop and get in the tent if I just get too cold through my rain gear. Haven't really had that since Colorado, but can happen. I also don't trust the forecast too horribly much. Tend to look at the skies more, but rain throughout the day is what it was predicting, but not a ton. If it was saying like an inch or 2 of rain, freezing rain expected, I would be paying a little bit more attention. Current precipitation predictions disappear after tomorrow, and at least for the couple of days after that, warmer and sunnier. You know, low 50s, mid 30s sort of temperatures, which after the last couple of weeks pretty much sounds like heaven. Granted, at the moment, any trail not covered by those damn locust thorns pretty much sounds like heaven to me, so there's that. I probably should have just come over to the campground last night, but after 3 years of, in the off season, living in campgrounds, I unfortunately associate them with people playing music and other sort of annoying activity. Funny thing is, I was so excited in late 2019 to just get rid of the condo and be more mobile and move into the campgrounds, because I love being out, I love camping. It seemed like it was perfect. But as that clerk's joke goes, you know, this job would be great except for the customers. Campgrounds would be great except for other campers, particularly around where we are in Orange County. It seems like there's a good number of people that they feel like they're in a campground. They must be in the deep wilderness, so it's fine to do whatever. So they show up, roll the windows down on their car, and they're blaring music so loud that it's vibrating everything 4 campsites over. Or my other favorite is people coming into the tent sites and running a freaking gasoline generator all day because, you know, they're wanting to sit in there and watch TV or something. Especially these days, there is no reason to have one of those damn things. The 100-watt solar panels work really, really well. And you can even chain multiples together if you have more extreme power needs, aka you need an inside with your heated foot bath going while you're watching TV and the air conditioning going, just so you're comfy as you're roughing it in the outdoors. This is why Jen wanted to sell the van. 3 years in the campgrounds, and this last season I was pretty embittered. I was also stuck in the van with problematic neighbors during the day. You know, she's just there at the end of the day. Yeah, I probably would have been safe coming over here. For some reason, I guess people don't want to be camping on a Thursday night in December with the bad weather forecasts coming. Okay, there has got to be a story with that one. No wonder I was so warm last night. Turns out I camped down at 6,200. Unfortunately, today I go over 98 and then hopefully back down the far side. 13.5 miles of climbing and then ish downhill into Silver City. And here we go, looks like. You can tell I went into somebody else's section. All of a sudden, buku trail maintenance and emblems everywhere. Oh, gotta love signs like that. Oh, from the sound of it, somebody's out here. I have not been able to stop longer than about 2 minutes all day. It is pretty chilly up here. I should be getting within a couple of miles of the top. And there's civilization down there. I could get into town tomorrow morning by the 15, but I kind of want to stick with my plan and walk the rest of the way in rather than go in, wait around, and then have to circle back around. Or even worse, do something completely lame like, you know, slack pack that section. Okay, once again, decide to stop. I get no views when it's dark, and I'm ready to get out of the cold and the snow. I made it over the range. I'm just a couple of miles from the 15. If I really wanted to, I could be going into town and staying with the trail angels tonight, but that doesn't feel right. So, gonna eat my last hot dinner, try and stay warm, and see how close to silver I can make it in the morning. Home sweet home.